Well, the circus is back in town in Manhattan as the Trump trial continues there in New York City, where they're still trying to get a conviction for a non-existent crime, at least when they can't even explain what it is. Ridiculous, right? Michael Cohen, again, back on the stand today, essentially giving testimony that nobody can believe because, you know, he's a convicted perjurer, lied to everybody. Anyway, President Trump himself spoke again before court this morning. Here's part of what he said.
I was supposed to be making a speech for political purposes. I'm not allowed to have anything to do with politics because I'm sitting in a very freezing cold courtroom for the last 4 weeks. It's very unfair. They have no case. They have no crime. It's been determined by everybody, every legal scholar. This case should be dismissed. It should have never been brought. And the judge is highly conflicted. He's a corrupt judge. He's highly conflicted. He's totally corrupt. And he's interfering with an election.
Sounds accurate to me. Sounds on point to me. Here to discuss it all from just outside the courthouse in Manhattan, Real America's Voice correspondent David Zier. David, good to have you here. Boy, a busy day inside the courtroom and a couple of bombshells as Michael Cohen once again makes himself look terrible, doesn't he?
He sure does. While 26,000 New Yorkers have been assaulted in the streets of New York just since January 1st, they're wasting their money on this stuff. I got to tell you, explosive moments. Prosecution and the judge both wanted to limit Brad Smith's testimony if the defense calls him because they don't want him to explain as a former FEC chairman for the Federal Elections Commission that this thing does not belong in state court and there are no charges to predicate what's going on here. But the big thing of the day was when Todd Blanche got Michael Cohen to say that he did not reimburse Redfinch $50,000 that was given to him to Redfinch IT Solutions Company, that he did not give them $30,000 of it, and he kept it for himself. And he admitted to stealing it from the Trump organization. I thought that was just mind-blowing. And, you know, all these keyboards are chattering away when Stormy Daniels is in there. But then when Michael Cohen says something like this, they weren't, because I think most of the media is very liberal, as I said earlier on Jack Posobiec's show. But Blanche established that Cohen had a trail of greed. He, over the years, made $4.5 million plus since 2020 from his podcast, selling merchandise, anti-Trump merchandise, on his website and from his books, but also made a lot of money in his 9 or so years with the Trump organization, and that this repayment of this $35,000 a month throughout all of 2017 really was for legal services as well, because Blanche successfully demonstrated that Michael Cohen was doing not only legal work for Trump, but legal work for Melania and other members of the family, including Tiffany, I believe. So,
plus, he was tipping himself on the side there, David. Blanche, I mean, yeah, he was tipping himself on the side because not only did he keep the $30,000 cash, he then, from what I've read, submitted reimbursement requests, which he got. So in the end, he stole $60,000 that he admits to. Who knows what else he stole? He stole $60,000 because, well, he didn't get the right bonus or something for that year, so he made sure he got himself a bonus, apparently.
Yeah, well, yeah, and why wasn't he brought up on these grand larceny charges or whatever kind of deal was cut for him to turn on Trump, right? I thought it was really just probably the pinnacle of the trial up until this point, because he was discredited by Blanche demonstrating his consistent lies, perjuring himself multiple times, but not only lying when he got a reduced sentence. At the sentencing, he's lying to the judge after the judge showed him leniency for taking responsibilities for his actions. Michael Cohen was lying again. So the day's events are just really incredible here. I'm just going through my notes here. I took about 20 pages of notes today in the courtroom. And he just established this chain of events where Michael Cohen has made nothing but money from Donald Trump.
Yeah, he's made a lot of money. In fact, he was making $4 million a year working for the Trump organization, according to what came out as well. I mean, he's just a grifter. He's just a grifter. Anyhow, where do we go from here? It's almost time to wrap up with him. Who are we going to see the defense call? Is Costello going to be there? That's the one guy I think that they need to put on the stand who can diffuse just about anything that Michael Cohen said, if he even need to. Michael Cohen discredited himself so badly.
Well,
I don't know where you go from here, but David, I'll give you the last word.
Yeah, in addition to Brad Smith, they may call Costello and then one of their paralegals for a brief review. But, I don't know if they have to. I think they've planted that reasonable doubt in the jury's mind here about this is all based on Cohen's testimony, right? And Stormy Daniels blew herself up in there. But I think it appears, and I can't say this for sure, that the judge and the prosecution want to drag this out a little so Cohen's testimony is not fresh, maybe, with the jurors. They were feverishly taking notes in the jury pool today. About 3 people I noticed taking notes. So maybe they are taking this seriously. Maybe they thought it would be a walk in the park at first, but now it's getting down to, do we convict a former president of the United States where there's no crime?
There's no crime, and if they go to the lesser included crime of the misdemeanors, well, the statute of limitations has already run out. David Zier, thank you for being here. As always, we look forward to more from him as the trial in Manhattan continues. Thank you, David.